raw material so that it would have to be shipped back to the imperial seat, the imperial keep. And once it was shipped there, and once it was in place there, then they would sell it back as value added to the people in the colonies, and that was used as a form of control. Now, that's mercantilism. Now, what we live under today, what we're entering now is neo-mercantilism. And no one else sees this. No one else talks. I've been talking about this for 15 years because I've studied mercantilism. I looked at globalism. I looked at what they said globalism was, and it was mercantilism without the name. And I'm waiting for professors and economists and others to pick up on this. I mean, am I really smarter than you as someone studying economics and history? No, you're just not seeing it. But a rose is still a rose by any other name. This is mercantilism. And so the Arabs aren't allowed in their deals to produce any manufacturing. They've got to buy their jet airplanes and their Caterpillar equipment, their bulldozers and cranes from European or U.S. companies. They've got to buy their software from the Japanese or the Chinese. And in the agreements they signed in the mid-1970s, this is on record, they had to agree to spend the lion's share of their oil money back into the U.S. to buy T-bills and thus prop up the dollar as the world reserve currency. Now, what Ken Fromm told Williams a few months ago before he died, and what the other even more high-powered guy just recently told him is exact, and he said all this in October was going to happen, that the Middle East would go into flames. I said, war? And he goes, no, destabilization. But then later, that was just a distraction towards China, but that it would drive up oil prices to 150 to 200. You just saw them go up 9% today. Okay? And so the Arabs have been set up. They've invested in T-bills. Now, as the dollar is basically phased out into the new global SDR, it'll still be there. It'll just be a component of it. The Arabs are going to just basically be put into turmoil, let a bunch of, wild crazies fight over power. Nothing destabilizes things better. They will implode. Oil production will be put into doubt. And then huge oil production is going to then finally be brought back in the United States, but we're going to pay exorbitant prices for it. The United States will then go into a long period of decline in which China is built up as the new global force and enforcer. But then at a later date, the United States will be risen back up again so the bankers can use the U.S. as a play against the Chinese as a play against the U.S. So it's three-dimensional, very complex chess. Now, here they are giving you the religion of the New World Order in this, 1974 network clip, where Howard Beale is called in by the head of the conglomerate to explain to him the religion of the New World Order. Here it is.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature, Mr. Beale, and I won't have it. Is that clear? You think you merely stopped a business deal? That is not the case. The Arabs have taken billions of dollars out of this country, and now they must put it back. It is ebb and flow, tidal gravity. It is ecological balance. You are an old man who thinks in terms of nations and peoples. There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There are no third worlds. There is no West. There is only one holistic system of systems. One vast and immane, interwoven, interacting, multivariate, multinational dominion of dollars. Petrodollars, electrodollars, multi-dollars, Reichmarks, rims, rubles, pounds, and shekels. It is the international system of currency which determines the totality of life on this planet. That is the natural order of things today. That is the atomic and subatomic and galactic structure of things today. And you have meddled with the primal forces of nature. And you will atone. Am I getting through to you, Mr. Beale? you get up on your little 21-inch screen and howl about America and democracy. There is no America. There is no democracy. There is only IBM and ITT and AT&T and DuPont, Dow, Union Carbide, and Exxon. Those are the nations of the world today. What do you think the Russians talk about in their councils of state? Karl Marx? They get out their linear programming charts, statistical decision theories, Minimax solutions, and compute the price-cost probabilities of their transactions and investments, just like we do. We no longer live in a world of nations and ideologies, Mr. Beale. The world is a college of corporations, inexorably determined by the immutable bylaws of business. The world is a business, Mr. Beale. It has been since man crawled out of the slime. And our children will live, Mr. Beale, to see that perfect world in which there's no war or famine, oppression or brutality. One vast and ecumenical holding company for whom all men will work to serve a common profit, in which all men will hold a share of stock, all necessities provided, all anxieties tranquilized, all boredom amused.
Now, I have actually had big network type heads and people that have tried to hire me that I've, met with privately on condition of anonymity to be offered things. It's okay to talk. And you basically get a speech like that. Globalism's going to help people. Yeah, the New World Order's real, but you just don't get it. No, I do get it. You're a bunch of control freak murderers putting poison in the water. This isn't some lovey-dovey, happy world government. Oh, yeah, they're going to entertain us with sports while they're putting lithium and other toxins in the water, while they're putting cancer viruses in our vaccines, as they've been caught doing ad infinitum. And so world government is death, kind of like that issue of what it was, the January 2010 issue of National Geographic. It said, oh, the whole world's going to be the model, basically, of Singapore. It's like slitting your wrist and getting in a hot bathtub of water.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
I have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv. Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com. Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We are here live. Lindsey Williams is coming up in T-minus 37 minutes from now. He'll join us at 33 after, coming up in the next hour for an hour and a half of live transmission. We may even go into overdrive and open the phones up if folks have questions or comments for Lindsey Williams. But the globalist, by being able to mimic the symbols of energy, seeds, salt, animal pelts, gold, silver, rubies, diamonds, slaves, cooking oil, frankincense, myrrh, garlic, seashells, glass beads. They've all been used as symbols of currency and money. How much is a healthy slave worth? And you go to the slave auction. Every culture had it. And there was a set amount. And it would be exchanged generally in gold. Or they could make side deals, but it wasn't as easy. It didn't grease the skids as quickly for commerce. If you wanted to pay, okay, I'll give you 50 pigs. Or I'll give you 3 cows for that slave. That's where money came from. And people around the world settled in on silver and gold. Doesn't matter if it was the Aztecs, didn't matter if it was the ancient Japanese, the Chinese, the Visigoths of Germany, the Austriagoths of Austria, the Gauls of what is France today, the Brits of Britain, the Celts, gold, silver. The globalists are hoarding gold, silver, hoarding, telling you, don't get it, you don't want it, you don't want to buy it. Property. Gold, silver, weapons. These are things that have value in history. Information, value. But they set your role models for you and tell you it's Justin Bieber. It's American Idol. And so people are brought up from being in diapers in front of a television set, being taught this is what has value. The number one thing you teach a child is what really has value in life. Their morals, their information, their mind, and then what true physical wealth is. But instead, we're just told wealth is being into a football game. And we go and pay all this money and sit there and feel like we're part of something big and that our team, our tribe is winning a war. It's all socially engineered. You know, the Drudge Report yesterday gave us a nice plug. I noticed back on Christmas, actually, my producer noticed this. Jaron, and he thought it was only on his computer, so he called his mother, and she checked it, and the entire website was red links on Christmas except Infowars.com and Alex Jones.